This week, we delve into changes regarding policies within our school
and highlight some of our students and teachers, coming at you this Friday morning.
Hello, and welcome to this week's Kram. This is Daphne Gilbranson
And Lily Turner.
Every school year, there are always changes for students and teachers. A significant new grading policy is in place for our school, and it affects every classroom and student.
Josiah Hall looked into how it works and what some of the Rampart community members think of this new change.
Grades are an integral part of school and how students judge their own progress. Our new policy is a significant change from previous years.
The new grading policy here at Rampart has been altered from previous years. Now grades are determined by a 90-10 split, with the 90% being content knowledge and the 10% being practice and expectations. Various staff members told us more about this change.
The biggest reason that Ms. Sanders and the grading task force felt the need to change is just because we want grades to be true. So over the last couple of years, Ms. Sanders and a number of teachers in the building have worked together to look at what grading actually means here at Rampart and what our grades actually mean. So by establishing the 90-10 split, 90% of your grade is committed to your knowledge. Whereas the 10% is where we get to look at the whole student. Is the student able and willing to be participatory in class? Are they turning in things on time? Which are those real world life skills that everybody needs?
The committee met for a whole year and they did some investigating and came back to the whole school and just decided to change our grading policy for this year that would give students the opportunity to do retakes, to go back and show the knowledge that they knew. So more opportunities for students to show their successes in the content area that they are working in.
Other staff and students voiced their opinion on this matter.
I appreciate that they're trying something. It's definitely something where it's difficult to grade you guys in an accurate, fair, consistent kind of way. So if they make it where teachers try to have some more consistency across departments, I completely understand that. It's probably more difficult from subject to subject though, where I could see where some teachers in some subject areas where they're trying to implement those same policies, it could be where the grades get even more troublesome, more problematic, versus in social studies it's kind of an easy thing to do.
I think the grading policy overall, it's a pretty good thing because it focuses more on how much you actually know about the course rather than some external factors. And I think also it serves as kind of a compromise because I know last year I had some teachers that were more on the side of late grades should be factored in, and then other teachers were like, late grades shouldn't matter because it's based on how much you know.
I think that it's unfair in certain classes that the grade is specifically has to be 90-10. I know that certain groups of classes use a further breakdown, but I think it's slightly unfair that certain classes have a 90-10.
Staff and students also told us about how this change has impacted them.
I suppose I'm always grading for knowledge and content, so for me it was kind of easy because I'm always grading for knowledge and content, so it's never like completion or crossword puzzles or anything like that where it's like, hey, just do this and then I give you a grade. It's always kind of like, well, how well do you know this?
I'm not really noticing changes in my grades, but I think it will help as being kind of like a prophylactic factor for in case there's external conditions, it doesn't actually impact my grades. Say I turn an assignment in late because of something external that happens and a teacher doesn't give any leeway like that, then I think it definitely could be a good thing.
Despite what students and staff may think about our new grading policy, it is here to stay. This has been Josiah Hall reporting for KRAM.
Looks like the new grading policy is different in everyone's eyes.
It isn't just the grading system that has been altered. Within our building, other changes have been made regarding the floors, missing lockers, and more.
If you've been looking around the school, there have been a lot of physical changes in our community over the summer. These changes are noteworthy and obviously took a lot of time and effort to make happen.
Here at Rampart, there have been a plethora of changes going around our school. Everything from new floors, new TVs, and the removal of lockers. We decided to go more in-depth to learn what it means for the current year and what changes could be happening in the future.
The lockers were taken out because less and less students are using the lockers. About 50% were used previous to us removing them. Plus, the other high schools in the district don't have lockers. They've all removed them as well. It's kind of a thing of the past. We're on a block schedule, so we have less books to store and less items that we need.
We really love to do the floors and have them matched throughout all of Rampart. Part of it was the lockers coming out, so we had to do something on those sides as well, because there was about a 12 to 16 inch gap that would have been on each side of the wall, so we needed to fill that in. So the timing was good to do both those projects at the same time. And so benefit wise, it's just new and cleaner and fresh looking.
The floors and the lockers weren't the only things that got changed. There's some new technology in the building too.
If you have been in our school for more than a year, you know that our TVs used to look really bad. There was static on the screen and you couldn't see really anything that was going on. The new TVs are great for our school because now every student walking down the hall can look at the TV and see what's on it. That's a huge deal because in the past, not everyone could see, and so it wasn't accessible. Now everyone can see it. We can see what's going on. We can get inspiration. We can look at the calendar. We can look at our social media news feeds. We can even see the weather. And so I think that benefits everyone in our school.
Next, we decided to ask some students what it would mean for them if they got rid of all of the lockers in the coming years.
I had one last year. I shared it with my girlfriend, but she would use it every day to keep her all her stuff for sports.
I don't know what that looks like over the next couple of years, but definitely it looks nicer in the building, in the upstairs without the lockers.
There are still some lockers available if you need. Go down to room 218 if you need one. This has been Jaden Saxon reporting for Kram.
Thank you to our facilities and technology staff for getting our school building ready for students.
Fall sports are upon us, and the boys' golf season is now in full swing, with many games being played.
Every sport has to work at their own team chemistry. The varsity golf team has always had a good relationship with each other, and this year they're even including a freshman.
One of the slightly less well-known sports teams at Rampart is our boys golf team. The Rampart golf team has already won one of their tournaments this year and are on track to win more. The athletes are pleased with this season and their team's dynamic.
It was great, actually. I had a lot more guys come out this year. I think I ended up with 7 seniors out this year, which is the best that I've had since I've been the head coach.
I think senior season went a lot better than last year. We ended up winning a tournament, and overall we have a lot better players this year.
Got a lot of leadership on the team. I'm a senior. We have another senior playing. We have a junior playing, and then we have a freshman. So we have 4 spots. Those are our varsity spots. So we have 2 seniors, a junior, and then a freshman. So we're excited to have that freshman coming in, but also to have some leadership in there.
Had a really good freshman come out this year, William Cordova. Great freshman golfer. I'm looking forward to seeing what he does in the next 3 years. Got a couple good sophomores that came out this year that are baseball players that can hit the golf ball pretty well, so I hope they will be back next year.
Definitely an experience, getting to hang out with a lot of seniors, so it's definitely fun and get a good feel for the school and stuff like that.
Right now, the team is on the verge of postseason play and on the road to state.
Well, actually, our tournament is next Tuesday for regionals. I get to take 4 guys to the regional tournament. Returning senior that made it to state last year at the 5A level, thinking he should be able to make it to the state at the 4A level, and hopefully 1 or 2 more guys could join him in making that state team.
I think state's going to go pretty well. Right now we're on track, and hopefully we do well.
I made it last year, and I think that I'm going to make it again this year, and we'll see. Hopefully somebody else from our team can make it individually.
The team is unique because the season started before school began back in the fall.
Yeah, so golf is interesting, especially boys golf, because our season starts the first week of August. So kids aren't even in school yet. So the best thing to do is to make sure that you get on the website, see when the season will start, listen to announcements towards the end of the year, and then usually August 1, August 2 is when we actually start our season.
If you see these athletes in the hall today, wish them luck. This has been James George reporting for Kram.
Good luck with the rest of your season, boys golf.
Many new teachers have come to our school this year.
One in particular is Mrs. Jocelyn Salazar, who teaches half of her time at Liberty High School and the other half at Rampart. Cameron Hazeltine dived into why Mrs. Salazar came to teach at our school.
It's rare for a teacher to have to switch buildings every other day, but Miss Salazar makes it look easy. While Mrs. Salazar might only be half-time with us at Rampart, she has loved the culture of our school from the start.
Really, the position that I was interviewed for, it called for halftime at Rampart and halftime at Liberty, but I didn't know about Rampart until I was already at the interview. So it wasn't until after the interview that I started looking into the school, and I really liked, one, that it's the same layout as Liberty, but I really like that it also has its own culture, its own students, its own vibe, really. I like how engaged my students are here. I really enjoy the fact that I can teach without having any disciplinary issues. I really enjoy the fact that the kids are very inviting as well. I've been invited to the football games or volleyball games, and I really, really enjoy that.
Mrs. Salazar is already having an effect on her fellow staff here at Rampart.
I think Mrs. Salazar is just so full of passion and excitement and enthusiasm. She's always looking for different ways to engage her students and create activities and fun things to get her students moving and engaged in the curriculum.
Senora Salazar is very bubbly, she's very engaging, and she really creates lots of great activities for the students that get them speaking Spanish and being really excited to be in her class. I think that's one of the great things that she brings to our department.
I absolutely love working with her. She's just kind and friendly and positive. She also brought candy from Mexico and was sharing it with her students and myself, and that was super fun.
I love working with her. I've really enjoyed getting to know her this year. I wish she was here every day so I could get to know her a little better, but she's just got a great personality and she fits in really well with the department. She's a great Spanish teacher.
Her students like her teaching style and sense of humor.
Not as much homework and gives us time to get extra credit for tests and stuff. She's really nice, really chill.
She's really sweet and she's a good Spanish teacher. She explains things really well, and yeah, she helps us learn all the vocab really nicely. She likes to joke around with us a lot and makes class fun, so it's easier to get through, and it's more of a friend situation instead of teacher and student.
Her split job between two schools makes her unique.
So we had a part-time position, and Liberty High School also had a part-time position, and so she does one day with us and then she does the other day with Liberty.
She's only here on Gold Days because she teaches at another school on Blue Days. It's a school in the district, so she's a full-time teacher, but only on Gold Days does she teach here.
I didn't even know that, but that's interesting.
Switching back between the two schools is a little chaotic. It's a little hectic, but I actually kind of enjoy the challenge because it's a new scenery every day.
Mrs. Salazar had some final thoughts on teaching.
My favorite part about teaching is building those relationships with the students. Once you build those relationships, then you have that respect, then you have that authority, really, as opposed to having to fight for it. And when you have that respect, those relationships, the kids are more likely to be engaged and more focused in the content that you're trying to teach.
This has been Cameron Hazeltine reporting for Kram.
Thank you, Mrs. Salazar, for sharing. We look forward to having you be part of the Rampart family.
For our final piece, there are a lot of opportunities for students at Rampart to travel.
Travel abroad can be an eye-opening experience, and Kram wanted to find out more about it.
We have several groups to sponsor different types of travel experiences. From CIEE to Education First, you can find the opportunity that's right for you.
Our school is filled with opportunities. We gather information and opinions on various study abroad programs available in our community.
CIEE is a program for high school students to travel abroad over the summer to study in a 4-week or 3-week program. The 4-week programs are for language and culture, and the 3-week programs are for topic. And they're really fun. It doesn't have to be a program that is language-based, so you can go to Australia for wildlife conservation. You can study theater in London. So there's all kinds of programs, and the best part about it is we have scholarships to give away, over $75,000 worth. Over the past 2 years, I've just started getting the ball rolling with Rampart. We got the Global Navigator status, which gives us $25,000 in scholarships for 10 people. Every year, but if we get more than 10, we open up more money to give away. They can apply right now. I have a QR code. All the programs are open. It's through CIEE Summer Abroad, and they can just come see me, and there's things around the school as well with the QR codes.
CIEE isn't the only option when it comes to our traveling resources.
We travel with a group called EF, which is education. They do all educational tours. They also do some adult tours too. But they've been in business for about 30 years, and they have offices and send kids literally all over the world. We just got back from Italy. We went there in June, and then we go to Belize this year.
I decided to go on an Italy trip because it just sounded like a lot of fun, and I had some friends who were going, and I've always wanted to go to Italy, so why not? I went because I knew it was going to be my senior year this year, and I wanted to go on one school trip with my best friend and my cousin. You can set up a program where your schools can go on the same trip, so I went with my best friend and my cousin to make memories.
I signed up for the trip because it was my first chance to actually go out of the U.S.
The kids that get on the plane in Denver are completely different than the kids that come off. Just the responsibilities that they learn is just incredible to watch kids grow.
My favorite part was Florence and Venice. Venice is like going underwater and probably going to be fully submerged at some point, so I'm really lucky to have been able to see it before it's all gone. And the gelato was really good. My favorite part was probably when we were in Sorrento and we went swimming. That was a lot of fun.
One of my favorite things was going to Florence. I was able to recognize some of the buildings there from pop culture.
It's really fun to get to know kids on a different level and just to get to share experiences that are different outside of a classroom, that you just get to, again, you get to watch them grow as people, but then when they come back, you just share something that's completely unique, and it's a lot of fun.
I think you should go on it with your friends. I think if you don't go on it with your friends, it's not going to be as fun as it could be.
I would. It's a fun trip. You get to see places that you might not get to go otherwise. It's cheaper than if you went there and paid for a tour on your own.
We have parent meetings every year. We have our posters up in the halls. The one by the snake has a QR code that you can use, and also the television one has a QR code that takes you to the enrollment page. And they can also come see either Miss Winiger in room 411 or me in room 413, and I'm always happy to talk about whatever trips we're getting ready to take.
Whether you're looking to broaden your education, seek new experiences, or strengthen relationships, there's a program for you. This has been Jamie Valdez, signing off for Kram.
International travel can definitely give you a new perspective.
Occasionally, our student council representatives have some important announcements for the student body.
Fiona Vukta is here today for our first Stuco Corner to make sure you are in the know.
Hey, I'm Fiona with your weekly Stew Corner. Here's what to look out for next week. The Powder Puff game is on Monday the 30th. All are welcome to watch at D20 Stadium at 7 p.m. Up next is homecoming. Next week's HOCO Spirit Days are as follows. Monday, we have our jersey out. Wear your Powder Puff jersey or best sports jersey. Tuesday is Cozy Crocs versus Socks with Birkenstocks. White Lies Wednesday. Thursday, channel the flannel. And of course on Friday, just in time for the homecoming game, rep your best blue and gold. That's all for this week, Rams. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next week. This has been Lily Turner
and Daphne Branson signing off.
There are lots of students. Oh, let's. Again. Oops.
There are. And Kram wanted to find.
Kram. This has been Lily Turner
and Daphne Branson
signing off. Yeah, that'd be totally nice.
Signing off.